Hi guys, it's Amy and you have found Amy Loves Crochet. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I do sincerely appreciate your time. I wanted to dig into my Willow Tranquility Yarn. I had but I purchased one of these the first time I went to the Hirschner's/Willow website and I saw this yarn. I absolutely fell in love with it. So I just bought one skein as I was buying a couple of other skeins of other things to try out different kind of yarns that they had. And I just loved the way that it looked so much. And I'll link that video down below in case you missed my unboxing of that. I loved it so much I went ahead and bought a second skein and then still ended up kind of using a one skein project for each of them. So that was kind of funny. But this colorway is called Garden Party and they don't have it any longer. I will link put a link down below of the Willow Tranquility yarn, but they don't have this color available anymore. So I really hope that they come out with some more colorways. There's only 2 out there right now, and I really enjoyed working with this yarn. Now a lot of my projects are just done in acrylic, and now I've kind of stepped into the cotton area and I do cotton acrylic sometimes, but this one is made up of nylon and cotton. It's 87% cotton and 13% nylon. It's a worsted weight 4, and they suggest a 5mm hook with it. Each of the skeins is 100 grams, and it's 229 yards. So I wasn't sure what I wanted to make with it, which is why it sat on my shelf for so long. And then I started working with shawls, as you saw a couple of videos previous. I've worked on some spider shawls. And I wanted to I started out with the idea of sort of making like a kerchief type thing. I've made one of those before, which I will also link the video to down below, as well as the tutorial for it, because I think it was a great pattern. And I think it was with Bernat Pop, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, we're on this pattern, these 2 patterns. So first I started with something that I thought would be like the pattern is for a kerchiefy type of thing, but once you're supposed to change color every couple of rows, and it's a very basic pattern. So once I got started with it, I kind of veered away from whatever the pattern said to do, and I turned it into a shawl instead. So I did want to stick with little girl sizes because I was working on that with the, whoop, there's the puppy. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. So as I was saying, I wanted to work in like a little girl size. I think this is way too small. I mean, it could be a little kerchief if you wanted it to in this, but it's kind of, it makes it bulkier. I wasn't sure what to do with this because of the nylon, but there's not a whole lot of stretch to it. Excuse me. So as I was saying, yeah, you got to check them just like a baby. Do they need to eat? Do they need to drink? Do they need to go potty? Do they need to sleep? He's laying down now, so hopefully I can get through this video. So here is the little girl shawl that I ended up making. And it's a very simple pattern. It was just there's 2 double crochets on each end. Here am I? 2 double crochets on each end, and then a double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, all the way through. So it was a very nice and easy, just kind of work through it pattern. Oh, I know I was talking about. I didn't want to do a hat. You know, a lot of one skein wonders you can do a hat out of, but with the nylon in here and the nylon and cotton, there wasn't a whole lot of stretch at all. So that doesn't bode well for a nice hat. But it is very light and very airy and very loosey-goosey. And I really like the way it looks. I really like the colorway. I wish I had more of it. And I really hope that they continue to put out new colorways of this yarn because I really liked working with it. So I went through one skein first, and then I stopped. I think I only just got down to like one blue row here, and then I stopped. And then I wanted to start the other skein on a different project that I was looking at and see where my yarn ended up as I went. The other project that I was working with, I didn't do the project the way that the pattern shows. Here's a picture of it from the pattern printout. I gotta get some color for my printer because it just prints in black and white. So this was a great one. It took me a minute to get the hang of it, and that's a little embarrassing to admit because it was a very, very simple pattern, but you increase only on one side, and I was losing my place of where I was, and so it took me a little bit to figure myself out, but once I did, it was a really great workup. And so this pattern comes in 2 sizes, and so this was the smaller size of the 2, and the color run is a very long way, so it doesn't, the color change doesn't happen but like pretty much once per skein basically. And so it brings you start down here, and these are double trebles, so you wrap your yarn on your crochet hook 3 times and pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. You feel like you're doing that all day long. But I really liked what the stitch definition looks like. It just looks like a really long little spirally twist. See, there's a good look of it. And you'll see on the pattern, it's got this sawtooth edge that I decided not to do because of the way I was working through the yarn. I wanted to make this kind of short and sweet, and I wanted to be able to do something like this-ish, you know, with these coming out through the sides. And so I, you know, was running out of yarn to do the extra sawtooth edges, so I didn't do that part. But I like it the way that it turned out, just for what it is. It's very small and very simple. The colors are just gorgeous. I absolutely love them. Here's a closer look. If you've got any of this garden party colorway, it's just gorgeous. I love it. And then on this side where the pink comes, and then it kind of goes to like this lighter grayish, pinkish, and then it's like, here, I'll drop that one. You can see where the color changes right there, and then it's just like this really soft gray. So again, just these tiny 2 little balls here. I don't know what I'm going to come up, you know, that's not going to match any of the yarn that I've got. I don't have anything that's got nylon in it. But so each skein is, each cake, whatever you want to call it, is 100 grams. And the little scarf without the sawtooth edges was only 67 grams. And I did that in a G hook, 4mm G hook. The shawl itself is 112 grams. So what I did was I just added a little bit at the bottom here of the blue and green. I added like another 2 rows of green, of blue, and then that bottom row of green to even out the colors. And this is one that, again, I don't normally color control if you know me at all, but on this one I did, because the edges, it was just a very little bit that I was going to lose by tying in the edges to make them even like that. I really liked the idea of making that color controlled so that each row is only its own color. Look how pretty. Oh my gosh, I want more. I want more of this yarn. So yeah, so then the scraps that I had left was just 20 grams. So maybe I can make some tassels on the end of the scarf. Some of them, some scarves have that. And the original kerchief pattern that I had made from, that I think is a Bernat Pop, had, the pattern also had tassels on the edges, on the points, but I didn't do those because I'm not a tassel kind of guy. But so yeah, so for this shawl, it was just a basic. We started up here. I don't even know what I did. You did 2 magic ring, 2 double crochets, chain 1, skip 1. So it's only 1, I don't know if you can see it here, or 2 double crochets, chain 1, 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet, chain 1, and then the 2 on the edge again. So here you've got basically 1 V with a chain on each side, and then 2 doubles on the edges, and you just go from there. So it's very easy, very simple, very mindless. 5mm hook. I think it's going to look great. There's some twins at my church, and whenever I'm working on a little girl kind of pattern, I think, oh, I've got to make a second one, to, you know, when there's twins or when there's sisters or something like that. So I kind of had them in mind, the Crystal family, when I was making these up. So I'm really excited about working on this sawtooth shawl again, scarf, whatever you want to call it. kerchief thing. I'm making it in a different yarn now, and I am adding the sawtooth edges, so that'll be nice to see the difference. And then I'm also making it in a grown-up color in the bigger size, so maybe for the moms out there that would like this, instead of looking at it like it's a little girly kind of colorway and stuff. So I'm excited to share those with you. I don't normally share my projects that I'm working on until they're completed, so that I'm looking forward to sharing that with you. That is, I've already got something else made up of that yarn. So, when I start working on something, I want to do different yarns or different hook sizes with the same patterns and show you comparisons. And so I'm kind of in that boat right now, where like I thought, am I going to save this one until I show you the others that have the sawtooth edges? Or do I put these together because this was the same yarn, and then that'll be a different video. So sometimes there's too much trying to organize what I have to share with you and give it a purpose or a theme for that video. So I think that's good for now, though. I think I lucked out in the last couple minutes here with the puppy being quiet. So man, and that's the other thing. I'm not doing any tutorials anytime soon. He's chopping me up like Edward Scissorhands. I can remember my grandmother used to have, she'd come in from doing yard work or something, and have all these little dots of blood on her skin, because as you age, your skin gets thinner, and I'm experiencing that now. When I look in a tutorial, I see my mom's hands. They're my hands, but what I see are my mom's hands, and now my skin is very much like my grandmother's in any bleeding sort of thing. I had band-aids all over my hands because I don't want to get blood on my yarn. So all right, guys, bear with me as I get through this puppy time in the next few videos or so, and we'll get a good routine down for him. So thanks for sitting with me today. I hope you have a wonderfully blessed day, and please come back and see me again. Thank you. Bye-bye.